Hey there, we are doing it. We are live from the back deck this morning here in the lovely Borden Valley, Indiana on this Friday. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for popping in. Wait for a few moments here to get some folks on board as we have just clicked the live button. So, this is your live weather show, Ben at 10, Monday through Friday, here to cover southern Indiana and beyond throughout the Commonwealth, of course, through the Ohio Valley, even into the tropics. We have a lot to talk about here for this Friday as we're going to shift into a weather pattern change, really beginning on Sunday. We need the weather. We've got some more county burn bans that we'll talk about. We've got some tropical weather that we'll talk about. Weather history, weather jokes, Friday night football, a lot going on across the region here this weekend. If you have any festivals or events or big yard sales you want to talk about, drop them in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Always love the good mornings and all of the weather questions. Keep the conversation going here. And thanks for being a part of the weather family here on Ben at 10. Thanks for watching, whether it's on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the good old World Wide Web. And we'll take a look at some of the comments popping in here in just a second. And we'll also take a live look outside as well. Got a live look right behind me here with all sunshine. I don't see a cloud in the sky as we look at the live camera here, the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. It is crystal clear along the waterfront as well there. It looks like someone taking a stroll along the fossil beds there this morning. There, looking live from the riverfront there in New Albany and Clarksville and downtown Louisville as well. So things are looking great across the area. Radar and satellite, again, crystal clear. There is a little moisture out to the west that we can see there over Illinois and heading toward the boot heel of Missouri and the Mississippi River. But that will stay west of us where there is a little bit of moisture to work with. And tomorrow, there's a very slight chance of an isolated shower west of I-65, but that is still running into kind of punching into some dry air. So most of tomorrow will be dry. And then Sunday, we'll start to see some of that activity move our way. And then we settle into an unsettled weather pattern with daily rain chances next week. So we will be timing that out. So let me go ahead. And if you're new to the program, just a reminder here, we're going to be putting the Starlink internet to the test. We are chugging on a lot of data here this morning as we're going to be looking at the weather models and all that good stuff. We started off with your forecast right off the bat. Then a little bit later, we'll be digging a lot deeper into the details, of course, with your weather jokes, your weather history, all that good stuff. And then around 10:20 usually, we'll be digging into the weather model data, the really nerdy portion of the show, and look at the long range outlook as well. If you've been watching here recently, you know that the long range outlook is on a limb, and we'll take a long look out probably into early October and see when we might get some really cooler air moving in. In the meantime, cheers. Whether you're watching from the back deck, the front porch, or in the house, it's the second cup of coffee with the Bliss Cup. Hope you guys are having a good Friday morning here. And let's see who's popping in. We got a bunch of comments already. We have Beverly Hagist, almost always number one in the comments. We had a good morning from right across the valley there in Borden, Indiana. Right up the road in Bedford, sunny and cool, but a little bit toasty later on today. You got it. I feel like the hat is not on straight, but maybe it's just the angle of the camera. All right. To my mom, you are the best. Thanks for watching this morning. Good morning, Grandma, as well. Through the woods, over the creek, to Mom's house we go. Debbie Kirchgassner, good morning there. Near the Chicken House restaurant down there on Grant Line Road. Always a hopping place, the Chicken House. Perry Porter, good morning with the coffee. Good morning to you. Doing the same here. Wyatt right there from is it PRP or I think it's the PRP area. Wyatt Wright, he's got his own live weather show. Check him out. And Lillian Lasley with a good morning at 72 degrees from her house there in Litchfield, Kentucky. Thank you guys for watching here this morning. And let me bring up, yes, I was correct, from the PRP area. Very good. All right, let's add this to the stage here. Got to remove this. Punching some buttons, making things pop up here. Here are your weather headlines today. Mainly dry through tomorrow. Again, we'll look at a very small chance of an isolated shower, mainly off to our west tomorrow. Then some showers we'll be looking at with the weather models on Sunday. And then daily rain potential next week. A wholesale change to our dry weather pattern that we've had across the area. Orlean Whitlow, thanks for tuning in there from Hodgenville, Kentucky. Hope you have a great weekend too. And the weather pattern change, guys, is because of this, an active jet stream over the Ohio Valley. The jet stream has been to the north. We've had no wind. We have had nothing to pop up any showers for a long time, but that is going to change. This will be kind of the storm highway, and we are going to have disturbances riding along this jet stream, this little trough in the atmosphere, and it's going to bring back an unsettled weather pattern to the area. Not so for today. Here's the play ball forecast, 82 at noon. A little bit on the hot side, but the humidity stays low. It's kind of a comfortable heat, upper 80s to near 90 degrees. And then as we head towards sunset, dropping into the upper 70s, 0% chance of rain, and the wind will be light out there for today. Hey, we've got Vivian Mark and the Louisville crew watching from Panama City, Florida. We've got viewers from all over the continental United States this morning. That is awesome. Thanks for tuning in. And on a very lovely Friday morning here with the cool 60s. I mean, every morning we've had lately has been just awesome across the area. And then again, a little bit on the warmer side for our afternoons. Here's a look here. We've got everything freshly loaded up at extolmag.com/weather. There is our live stream going on right now. Thanks for liking or subscribing, by the way, on our YouTube channel. That's where my mom watches on the big screen. And get the notifications too. Then if we cover severe weather, maybe snowstorms coming up eventually, we might be doing live streams at different times of the day, and that'll give you a heads up. There's your interactive radar, the brand new 7-day forecast that I've slapped on the page there. And we do have the drought monitor that was updated yesterday. We talked about that. More of our area under a moderate drought. You can see much of the Ohio Valley and the Midwest under that moderate drought. And there are also some more burn bans across the Indiana, but thankfully those will be short-lived as we will start to get some rainfall in here next week. So you can go to right here. This is in.gov DHS burn ban map. It takes a second to load because it's an interactive map, but it will eventually pop up here. And then there it shows the counties to the right under the burn bans. So we have Jennings County, Scott, Washington, and Orange and Du Bois counties under county burn bans. So if you're camping, if you're having that backyard fire, keep that in mind here. But again, we will start to erase these burn bans as we see the return of rain here very soon to our area. So heading back to extolmag.com/weather, there is the big old interactive radar that you can always get at any point in time with the closest showers down to our southwest that we can see there. And we can also plop on the current temperatures, which are starting to make their way into the low 70s. And of course, Lillian Lasley just gave us that live report from her house, 72 degrees there in Grayson County. So a lot of tools you can play with there right at your fingertips at extolmag.com/weather. As I mentioned, there are some things happening in the tropics. We'll dig into more of that here in just a second. There's Tropical Storm Gabrielle. It's kind of fighting for its life because it's got some dry air that it's wrapping into it. And there's not a lot of thunderstorm activity. It's questionable how long this storm will hold together. We'll take a more look at that here in just a second. First, I want to give a shout out to our partners here, and then we'll roll into that forecast. So Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com, protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. They've been busy all year since March, of course, with the hail that we had earlier in the springtime. But if you want some more information here, you can get free estimates here online, or you can call them on either side of the river. They've got you covered, 812-294-3595. And you can go to careers. They can help you figure out how to pay for roof repair, roofing, and all that stuff. And they've also got a job opening here, roofing repair technician. You may have to work hand in hand with your insurance company. I recommend to you, Michael Long with American Family Insurance. covering all the Hoosier State. They've got products in the Commonwealth as well. They've actually had a price reduction with their car renewals here recently, one of the few insurance companies that can say that. So if you want a new quote, just give Michael Long a call here, 812-578-3072. Proud to be an American Star certified agency. Excellence in customer experience. And job opportunities still available here at Libs Paving Co. They are a great family company right out of Floyd's Knobs and the top asphalt contractor around. And you go to the career section. And if you want to join up on the company, learn more about the company, there you can see, I'm scrolling it right now, the potential job opportunities for you that you can apply for online. You can also level up your career with Ivy Tech. 9 miles north of Louisville is the Sellersburg campus. You can go to ivytech.edu, click on Sellersburg, and it'll take you there, and you can learn a lot more. So today, actually, I just shared a picture about a half hour ago of my wife interviewing my son Brady at Prosser for his entrepreneurship program there. It's a junior and senior year program in high school. But the key thing is they've got a big sign up in the classroom that says dual credit classroom. So he gets a bunch of credits for college through Prosser, through Ivy Tech for free. So they are saving hundreds of thousands of dollars for students across the area with this program. And those Ivy Tech credits can be transferred to pretty much any college in the state of Indiana and possibly beyond. So they've got 42 different programs, 2-year certifications, and a lot more. Their fall sessions are happening now, and you can head online to learn more and how to sign up. So again, thanks to all of our partners for allowing us to do what we do, and thanks for you being here to allow us to do what we do as well. So again, a beautiful start to the day. Sunshine, 60s starting to turn into 70s. No clouds in the sky, but again, we've got a big weather pattern change that we're talking about here on the show this morning on Ben at 10. And that's going to be the weather headlines for us for today. We'll get back to some comments here in just a second. And just a quick reminder, too, if you ever want to reach out to me, connect Ben at extolmag.com. If you ever want to see your business, your organization, your logo on our products, we post throughout the day on different platforms. Over 1 million views, 1.3 million over the last month. And so we can get your word out about what's going on in your business. So we can help you out with advertising and marketing with Extol Weather, Extol Media, and just reach out to Ben at extolmag.com. So back to those weather headlines. If you're just popping on here, mostly dry through tomorrow. There's a very small chance of an isolated shower west of 65. We'll see that with the high-resolution weather model data here in just a second. Showers Sunday, and then a daily rain chance next week as we become more and more unsettled because of the jet stream throwing disturbances our way every day next week, pretty much. And again, today, though, looking nice out there. Got louder than life happening across the area. We have the last homestand of Bats baseball. There's a lot going on this weekend across the region. Good festival season, too. If you know of a festival in your area, your town, let us know. Drop it in the comments, and we'll get the word out about that as well. So upper 80s to near 90 today. We hit 90 yesterday, and it's a very light breeze across the area. And again, the Bats versus the Nashville Sounds at Slugger Field all weekend. It's their last home stand. So if you want some baseball, check it out before the season is over. And then Saturday evening, tomorrow evening, we've got temperatures in the 80s for the start of Lou City match versus the Las Vegas Lights. South wind at around 5 to 10. And then we also have some racing. Boogity, boogity, boogity. ARCA Menard Series, Kentucky in a Ford Dealers 200. I believe they got a race tonight, too. And then they got this big race tomorrow. So let's go racing on the legendary high banks there. That is just off to the west of Salem, Indiana. And you can also do a meet and greet with Will Kimmel right there on the right at Menards. He's going to be the racer there from Kimmel Racing. They're based out of Clarksville from 5 to 7 p.m. this evening at Menards. You can check them out. And you can see we got some stupid weather jokes on the way. We got a good morning from Vicki Berger up the road in Salem, Indiana. Cheers, Vicki. Thank you for tuning in here. Grandmother of the All-Star, Kennedy, volleyball player there. Multi-sport athlete. All right, here we go. Back to the weather jokes. All right, so these are perhaps not our best, but we'll go for it. What do you call a bear in the rain? A drizzly bear. This one's a little more fall related, I guess. Why did the tree giggle? It heard a corny joke. Acorn joke. This complicated forecast raises some serious questions. And we'll leave that right there as we move on to the weather history today. Look at this one. We haven't seen a weather history with something this far back. 1559. A powerful hurricane hit present-day Pensacola, Florida, as 7 Spanish expedition ships may have been destroyed, along with most of the Spanish settlement that had been established just a month earlier. It's crazy we got records that far back. 1955 hurricane made landfall at Morehead City, North Carolina. 16 inches of rain, and this is the third hurricane to cross eastern North Carolina in 6 weeks. It is the peak of hurricane season right now in September. 1983, Indianapolis, high temperatures reached 92. It was the 58th time temperatures reached 90 degrees in 1983, which set a city record for the most times in a year. In 2003, this is a weird one. Frog eggs rained in Berlin, Connecticut during a rain shower from Hurricane Isabel. Since frogs in Connecticut do not lay eggs so late in the year, scientists believe that the storm had carried the eggs from its landfall point in North Carolina more than 500 miles away. Oh, yeah, Beverly Haggis dropping in an event here. Have a good one, Beverly. Thanks for watching so far this morning. But we've got the concert in the park tonight in Borden, Indiana. Again, just a ton to do across the area. So here's your countdown. Autumn begins in just 3 days, Monday at 2:19 p.m. Average highs in the 60s just in 30 days. Halloween in 42, and the average first flurries in November in 57 days. Allergy report, I'm going to drop it a little bit with a rain chance on Sunday, but it's grass and weed pollen, ragweed across the area. You can see those yellow ragweed on the sides of the roads sometimes. And your forecast today for your Friday, September the 19th, up to near 90 degrees. So very warm again, but the humidity will stay low. A little toasty out there for louder than life in the afternoon, but feels great in the evening time. Your Friday night football. So we've got 80s to start off with, and then after sunset, starting to move into the 70s. So it should be some pretty good football weather out there. I believe we got Floyd Central and Jeff, big matchup there. Silver Creek is at Scottsburg, I believe. And then Salem and Springs Valley. Providence at Charlestown, and West Wash and Paoli. So some good Southern Indiana matchups for football tonight. And tonight's forecast, 66 degrees, partly cloudy and mild, and just a light breeze. Our sunrise at 7:29. Hearing a lot of crickets out here this morning. I need to do a little bit of mowing today. A little bit of picking up, a little bit of choring as usual. Here's your Saturday forecast, September 20th. 60s out the door, 82 at noon. I think we'll see a little extra cloud cover developing tomorrow afternoon, and that isolated shower chance, I've got it at a 20% chance. There west of I-65 with a high of 89 degrees. We're coming up to 10:20, so we're going to start to look at the weather model data here for you. We'll look at it together and time out the rain chances on the way. The much needed rain chance. As if you weren't on earlier, we're talking about the county burn bans. We've got Jennings, Scott, Washington, Orange, and Du Bois counties under county burn bans here until we get that rain start to drop across the area. 7-day forecast. Look at the rain chances. We haven't seen something like this on a 7-day in weeks. So we've got that small chance tomorrow west of I-65, 40% chance of rain Sunday. I think we'll see some showers around Sunday morning, and then some occasional showers as these disturbances move through. Sometimes these disturbances can be kind of hard to time out. We're not talking about all-day washouts, but have the umbrella back out for next week. And with the rain chances and more cloud cover, we're dropping the temperatures a bit too. 84 Monday, right around 80 Tuesday, Wednesday. And then it looks like the kind of center of the upper level low pressure system could be on top of us Thursday, Friday. That would give us more cloud cover, some more light showers. And then we're dropping us down to the 70s, guys, back down to the 70s next Thursday and Friday with lows in the 50s. So there you go. That is a significant weather pattern change that we haven't seen around here in a while. So we are now up to 10:19, and that means it is time to start to fire up the weather models. And let me bring those up here for you. Let me take this away, add this up. And let me get one last swig here before we really dive deep into the weather models. I'm hearing I don't know if you got some oak trees around, but we got a lot of chestnut oaks back here, and they've been dropping a lot of acorns, I think, because how dry it has been. Mary Dale popping in the comments. Good morning. Looks like we might have some good rain by Sunday. Yeah, let's right on track there. So let's take a look and start to bring up the weather models. Desi, why are we whining, big girl? Why are we whining? It's all right. Okay. Desi's bored with the show. But this is the best part of the show. Desi, we're going to get to the weather models. So you see very quiet conditions across the region. The unsettled weather here is over the midsection of the United States. So what's going to happen is that is finally going to start to drift our direction. And so we'll start to pick up those rain chances with a more active jet stream across the region as well. All right, so here we go to the future radar, firing up the weather models here. Let's begin with the 48-hour high-resolution rapid refresh weather model, the HER weather model. This is today. The rain chances stay out to our west, and there are very small rain chances at that. So this is 6 p.m. today. There you see far western Kentucky might get a shower, but we are dry here today. Those showers out west begin to hit dry air and fall apart tonight, but we might see some high clouds from those decaying showers overnight tonight. All right, so I'm going to go into our Saturday afternoon. I'm going to jump ahead here to our September the 20th as we wait for some of this data to load. I'm going to go stop this at 4 p.m. It shows a very slight chance of a shower. There you can see a very slight chance. Even has a little bit of activity east of I-65. I think that's probably wrong, though. I think it's going to be hitting the dry air and not allowing for that to happen. When I bring up the dew point map, look at the dry air in place. So it's kind of interesting. You got this wall of dryness right here. So all of this in green is a little bit more humidity, and you have that water, H2O, to work with to produce some showers. And then you got this brick wall of dry air, I-65 and east. So I think tomorrow, as we see maybe a couple of these pop-up showers west of I-65 tomorrow afternoon, really falling apart as they try to hit that dry air. That's not the case Sunday, though, as we'll start to see that moisture starting to slide our direction a bit more. We'll take this out to the very latest, the 48-hour. So we're starting to see a little bit of that moisture moving our direction here Sunday. So that'll start to increase our chance for rain. Let me bring up the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. And we'll go back to the reflectivity, which is just the rainfall. And we go here to tomorrow afternoon. This is the other weather model. Notice it shows that better rain chance out to our west tomorrow here at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. Here's 7 o'clock. So the activity hits that dry air and falls apart near I-65 or even west of I-65. That's your Saturday map right there. So we look at a little bit of a broader view. Oops. So you can see all of that out west tomorrow afternoon. So the farther west you get tomorrow is the better chance for some rain. We get rid of that little drawing right there, and we'll move into Sunday, which is when we start to pick up a better rain chance across the area. Vicky saying, my neighbor's got a metal building, and the acorns drop on it all day. You know, my cabin up on the hill way back there, it also has a metal roof, and it can be pretty loud when they drop. All right, so I'm going in here to our Sunday morning with the NAM 3-kilometer weather model, and check that out, developing out to our west. Will it hold together? It looks like it may hold together for some morning shower potential. This is 10 a.m. on our Sunday morning. And that just got me thinking, it might be time Go get him. Go get him, Annie. Nope. She's not going to go down the stairs. She's a 14-year-old border collie. She likes to yell. She likes to yell at the turkey vultures that fly over. Annie. Annie girl. She's so old, it's got to be really something important for her to run down the stairs. All right. Good guard dogs there. All right, so here's your Sunday morning. This got me thinking. Might be a good time to start putting out the seed because we're going to get a lot of rain chances next week. So if your yard is crispy, not looking great, full of weeds like mine here, it might be a good time to start thinking about putting out some grass seed, maybe some fertilizer, and get it looking good for the fall season. And maybe the mums will be in good shape too with a little bit of a cooler pattern with that rain next week. So there's our Sunday with those rain chances. So that takes us through the weekend. Now I want to fire up the GFS weather model. This is going to take us through many rain chances next week. And I'm going to take this to our Sunday. It also shows some of the rain chances moving through here Sunday. That is our last day of summer. It's our final summer weekend here, guys. And now I'm going to take us into fall as fall begins Monday. And check out the GFS weather model. This is at 5 p.m. Monday, showing a good chance of some scattered showers. Puppy dogs. What are you doing? They're very vocal this morning. All right, so this is a good chance of rain here for Monday evening. I'm just going to scroll through the week here. So it looks like we'll have kind of a stationary front set up over the region. I want to bring up the dew point map. So this might show, it shows the moisture that we have across the area. And if you were watching yesterday, eventually that Canadian air does win out, possibly by very late September, early October. We're going to look at that together here in just a second too. But for now, next week, that green means we have some moisture to work with. A little bit of humidity in the air. So I want to go back to the rainfall. This is going into our 23rd, our Tuesday. And notice it still has some active weather across the region for Tuesday. But notice there's space between. We're not talking about all-day washouts or anything like that, but occasional showers passing through. Not expecting severe weather with this either. We just don't have the ingredients for that. I'm going to take this into our Wednesday, the 24th. And it also has some rain across the area. As we get into Thursday, Friday, I think we're going to have the center of the low pressure system on top of us. What does that mean? Well, we've got this swirl right here, this upper level low pressure system. We talked about this in the spring several times. When you have an upper level low, it gets cut off from the jet stream. Sometimes you call it upper level low woes if you don't want the rainfall, but this is actually good for us. They just kind of get stuck over the area. So this will give us showery, cloudy conditions, maybe just highs in the 70s here. This is next Thursday, the 25th. So again, totally different weather pattern than we've had for weeks. Now we go into our Friday. Will it still be lingering? And it looks like it does. The GFS and the European weather model still have some light rain lingering next Friday as the system is slow to move out and then perhaps drying out for our first weekend of autumn. Of course, not this weekend. This is our last weekend of summer. The following weekend, that is looking at the 27th and 28th. All right. So that's the rainfall. Let's add up all the rainfall. The GFS and the Euro were kind of similar with the precipitation total. The total precipitation for next week through Friday. And Mary Dale is liking it. This is looking so good. Yeah, good to get the rain chances. I mean, this is way up from yesterday. These rainfall totals here. Let me slap some of these on here. We're querying the pixels. So there you go. This would be adding up all the rainfall day after day after day from Sunday through next Friday. Not sure if we'll get that much, but I think a good inch is going to be possible, maybe 2 inches in some areas. So that would put a huge dent in the drought conditions, get rid of the burn bans that we have across the area. Vicky Berger popping in with I've got a tulip tree and the leaves are falling from it. Yes, same. Right back here, the ground is littered with leaves from the tulips And also we got, I think, a birch trees back here that have dropped their leaves. So a lot of the poplars are almost done with. Our magnolia out front has dropped its leaves. Just the dry weather definitely took a toll on some of our less hardy trees. So there you go. That's a look at the wet pattern for next week. Let's look beyond that. And I think we might see a cool down beyond that. And the best way to see an easier way to see a weather pattern or a weather air mass change is looking at the moisture going away. That means the Canadian dry air is going to carve out and push out the moisture, and then it's going to bring in cooler conditions. So first, let's see if we can get that red to move in, and then we'll look at the temperature change beyond that. And that is going to take us to our long range outlook. Been on them. Here we go. So let's go. So this is the upper level low that's over us into next weekend. So yesterday was around, I think, the 29th or 30th when that Canadian air drops in over us. This is the 27th. So this will be not this Saturday, but next. Plop it on the temperatures showing 70s. So I've got 70s in the forecast next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then I want to bring up the dew point back up. All right. And then we're going to move ahead to the 28th, which would be not this Sunday, next Sunday. So we don't see that big, huge push of Canadian air just yet. Going into Monday, the 29th. Not seeing much of a change. Going into Tuesday, the 30th. Not much of a change. Still have the green around the area. Dry air out west. Going into the 1st of October. Let's check out the temps here. It doesn't have much of a change. 70s, maybe 80s across the area. I start to see the cool air north there on our October the 1st. Let's see if we can get a change by October the 2nd. So now the models, that is a huge push of dry air. So when you're this far out, you could be a day or two on either side of when we get this big weather pattern change. But it's still showing right around the beginning of October. This is looks like a strong front. 1st of October. Watch this dry air punch in. That's really cool looking. And then you bring up the temperature, and yeah, that is a cool down. Look at those temperatures right there. So if you're wondering when, we're going to break out the flannels again. Back, maybe some sweater weather for the area. Right on time, kind of, as autumn, not autumn, I should say, October begins. So we'll just keep this in the back of our mind. When October 1st rolls around, October 2nd, we'll see if the good old GFS was correct about that. And this is heading into October 2nd. This would be the high temperatures, showing 60s in our area. And where's the summer weather? Down to our southwest. So this is October 2nd, guys. Will this happen? We'll just kind of wait and see. This is a couple weeks out, but it does show a strong push of cool Canadian air back across our area. So in the meantime, the big weather pattern change here that we've been talking about is the rainy pattern for next week. Still a little humidity, so 70s and 80s maybe for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And then right around the beginning of October, fall air really begins to punch in. So kind of a two-step process in our weather pattern change. First wet, and then eventually cooler conditions on the way for October. So there we go. And we can bring up the Climate Prediction Center's outlook as well. So let me get rid of that. So the Climate Prediction Center, the CPC, they do a very popular 6 to 10 day outlook and a 8 to 14 day outlook. And so this is the Climate Prediction Center. And I'm actually going to bring up the precipitation map. It looks kind of weird off when it starts. I think it should adjust here in just a second. But anyway, okay, there we go. There's the adjustment. So this shows a higher confidence of above normal precipitation through the 6 to 10 day outlook, which goes right along with what we just showed you with the GFS weather model. As far as the temperature outlook, showing, I think this is a little deceiving here, this 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, which should adjust here in just a second as well. It's been showing above normal temperatures, but when this rain starts to move in, I think we're going to start to go below normal late next week. So the first half, maybe a little bit above normal. Last half goes below normal. We'll see if the 8 to 14 day outlook will pop up here. And then we'll finish up with a look at the tropics. That's the 8 to 14 day. I'm not necessarily buying this completely. Again, I think we'll get those temperatures back to normal, below normal as some of that rain moves in. But this shows this Climate Prediction Center thinks the next 2 weeks or so is going to be overall a little bit above average, give or take. But our average highs start to move down to the upper 70s pretty soon. So above normal this time of the year doesn't mean it's going to be all that warm necessarily. And Orleans saying, will this rain coming in help the leaves to change faster? My dogwood tree is changing in my backyard. I think the drought conditions have made our leaves change quicker, not the rain on the way. The rain might start to help drop more of the leaves as the rain comes down, would be my guess. Okay, looking at the tropics here, we do have some active weather ongoing. We bring up the radar satellite, and then I'm going to bring up our tropical products. So we are now into the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Here we go. All right, this is where we have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Forecast is for it to become a hurricane, but it stays way out into the Atlantic Ocean. So no bother with that system there. So far, knock on wood, cross your fingers, we have not had any big problems with tropical systems this year, and we are now in the peak of hurricane season. And Lillian in the comments, have a good weekend. Everything looks awesome next week. Yeah, it's what the doctor ordered with the rain that we have across the area on the way. And we're all right. That is the end of our long range forecast. And if you're popping on just a little bit later, we'll do a recap. And we will look alive, look outside. Ooh, we got a wasp or something buzzing my head. There's your live look at the sunny skies across the area. That's what happens on the back deck. Sometimes we're getting buzzed by hummingbirds or bees or whatever it might be. All right, here we're back to the forecast here at 10:38. We've been talking for a while here. So mostly dry through tomorrow. Might see that isolated shower west of 65 to late tomorrow afternoon. Showers Sunday morning, and then a daily rain chance next week. And the reason is this active jet stream pattern. We get disturbances just rolling through from time to time. Got a little more moisture in the air, and we've got the ingredients for just an unsettled weather pattern for next week. But today, upper 80s to near 90 degrees, just like we've had all week long. Low humidity, no rain chance today, and just a very light breeze. And if you want to take advantage, it's our last homestand, the Bats versus the Nashville Sounds through the weekend. We've got soccer tomorrow evening, Loose City match versus the Las Vegas Lights. Temps in the 80s at Lynn Family Stadium tomorrow evening to start off with. And the ARCA Menard Series, Kentucky and a Ford Dealers 200. Big race out there at the Salem Speedway tomorrow evening. And the Kimmel Racing team will be out with Will Kimmel, the race car driver there, 5 to 7 p.m. this evening at Menards for a meet and greet. Our stupid weather jokes today. What do you call a bear in the rain? A drizzly bear. Why did the tree giggle? It heard a corny joke. A corny joke. This forecast raises some serious questions. And we did our weather history, and what was most interesting was how old our weather history is. 1559, a hurricane hit present-day Pensacola. As many as 7 Spanish expedition ships may have been destroyed, along with the Spanish settlement that had been established just a month earlier. Some hurricane information there in 1955, 1983, Indianapolis had 58 days in the 90s. That was the record for the city. In 2003, frog eggs rained in Connecticut from Hurricane Isabel. But the problem is, Connecticut, frogs don't lay eggs this time of the year. So scientists believe the eggs came from when it made landfall in North Carolina. How many days until? 3 days until autumn begins. 30 days until average highs in the 60s. Halloween, 42. And average flurries, 57 days away in November. Of course, those early sunsets in early November as well. Allergy report, high ragweed today, tomorrow, and then with some rain, might be a little bit lower for Sunday. In that forecast summary for today for your Friday, September the 19th, a high of 90 degrees, very warm again out there. Humidity stays low, almost no wind, and our sunset at 7:44. And that Friday night football, again, I think we've got Floyd Central and Jeff, Silver Creek and Scottsburg, Salem and Springs Valley, Providence and Charlestown, West Wash and Paoli here in southern Indiana. 80s for the kickoff, and then a little bit later after sunset in the 70s. Clear and quiet for your football. Tonight's low 66 degrees, partly cloudy and mild, and just a light breeze out there. Sunrise 7:29. And your Saturday forecast for your September the 20th, 60s out the door, 82 at noon, 89 for the afternoon high. And your 7-day forecast, look at that. Look at here. We finally see a lot of rain chances. This is something we haven't had in the 7-day for a long time. So again, mostly dry tomorrow, some showers around Sunday morning, might be a little drier Sunday afternoon, and then occasional scattered showers, bringing the rain gear back out next week. And with the clouds and with the rain, it shouldn't be as warm. Got 84 going Monday, right around 80 Tuesday, Wednesday, and then possibly just 70s for highs with clouds and showers next Thursday and Friday. This could add up to maybe an inch or two of rainfall for the entire week. And again, that is what we've been needing across the area for sure. All righty. We're getting toward the end here of the show, and that means we once again want to thank our partners here, Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com. This is where I am at right here live, scrolling their website where you can learn much more. They do commercial, residential. They can help you with the finances and things like that. They've got a job opening still, a roofing repair technician. Busy year for the roofing companies and the construction companies. And you may need to work hand in hand with your insurance company if you do have some roof damage. And I want to recommend you to Michael Long with American Family Insurance. He can cover you anywhere in the Hoosier State and also has products over the Commonwealth. And AmFam, as I recently learned, just had reductions in their prices in their car insurance renewals. One of the few companies that can say that here. So if you want to quote, give Michael a call, 812-578-3072. Go to amfam.com. You can find his page. You just search his name. There's still some job opportunities here with Libs Paving, libspaving.com, Libs. And you can apply there online. You can find a lot more information and how to maybe advance your career, change careers, get college credits while you're in high school. I was talking earlier that my wife, Sarah, was at Prosser Education Center today with their entrepreneurship, interviewing with their mock interviews. My son, Brady, there's a picture of it that I posted on Facebook a little bit earlier this morning. So good luck with that, Brady. But the point is, Prosser is a huge asset in our area, and so is Ivy Tech. So through Prosser, get the dual credits with Ivy Tech, and then that is free college credits that transfer just like my daughter did, the same program transferred to IU. So what a resource we have here in Southern Indiana, helping out hundreds of students throughout the region, saving thousands of dollars. We've got something going on here behind me. What could that be? I better go find out what the dogs are doing. All right. That's been the show this morning. A reminder here as well, you can always get our weather products all the time at extolmag.com. Oh, that was the poor mail carrier, I believe. Okay, here we go. Extolmag.com, where you get all our resources. Live show is up right now on the page. And there's your big old interactive radar. We can finally put the interactive radar to use starting Sunday and through much of next week. So we'll have a lot to talk about next week on the show. Hey, thanks for liking, subscribing, following, and on our different platforms. These dogs. All right, so Meteorologist Ben Peine on my Facebook page, Extol Weather on Facebook. I don't know if you hear them, they're still barking. Extol Media on YouTube and extolmag.com/weather online. I'm going to go check out what the dogs are doing out in the front yard, and you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.